In this video, I post our marriage certificate. Not to prove anything to the world, but to remind myself that it was real. That there was a day when we stood in front of each other nervous, trembling, maybe even scared, and still chose each other anyway. It wasn't perfect. God, it was never perfect. But that signature, that paper, it meant something. It meant we tried. It meant we stood still long enough in a restless world to say, it's you. I want you in every tomorrow I have left. I didn't post this for attention. I posted it because I missed that version of us. The version that still believed love was enough. People will scroll past it. Some will smile. Others won't even stop to read. But to me, this certificate holds the kind of weight that lives in the chest long after the photos fade. I remember your hands shaking when you signed. I remember the way you looked at me like you were memorizing my face in case the moment slipped away too fast. I remember thinking, this is it, this is what forever feels like. And maybe we didn't last. Maybe life pulled us in different directions, or maybe we were never strong enough to carry the weight we built together. But for one brief, shining moment, we were everything. And no matter how far we fall apart, this paper will always be proof that at least once we were one. I posted it because silence hurts more than truth. Because people think we just vanished like we were never real. But they don't know the late night talks, the shared dreams, the whispered apologies, the desperate holding on when everything inside us wanted to run. They don't know how sacred your name still feels in my mouth, even now. This certificate, it's not a weapon, it's not revenge. It's just me saying, this happened, we happened, and maybe that's the most honest thing I can say right now, that we existed, and it mattered, that you weren't just a chapter. You were the whole story I wanted to write my future in. So if you see this, and your heart stirs even a little, just know, I didn't post this to bring you back. I posted it because I never wanted to forget the day we promised not to leave. Even though we did. Not for validation, not for likes, not to reopen wounds. But because I can't keep pretending we didn't happen. People ask me all the time, what happened between you two? And I never have the words. Because how do I explain that we were once everything, that there was a day we made a vow with nothing but love and blind hope in our eyes, and that somehow, despite all of that, we still broke? I look at that certificate now like it's a photograph of a dream, our names, our signatures, the date, a quiet document carrying the weight of everything we tried to be. No one else will feel what I feel when I see it. They'll just see ink, paper, a timestamp, but I see your nervous smile. I hear the tremble in your voice when you said, we'll get through anything. I remember how tightly you held my hand, like letting go wasn't even an option. And even now, even after all the distance, even after everything we said and didn't say, I can't bring myself to throw it away. Because it's the last physical proof that once, you were mine, and I was yours. I know you'll probably see this. I don't know how you'll feel. Maybe you'll be angry. Maybe you'll roll your eyes. Maybe you'll say I'm being dramatic again. But I'm not doing this to drag the past back to life. I'm doing this to honor it. We had something real, and maybe it ended in silence or bitterness or confusion. Maybe we couldn't survive the damage, but does that erase the love that came before it? Does that make our promises any less true just because we couldn't keep them forever? I don't think so, and that's why I posted it, because I'm tired of pretending it meant nothing. So here it is. Our beginning, our promise, sealed in paper, signed in hope, stained with memory. And even if everything else fades, this little piece of us still exists. Because some stories deserve to be remembered, even if they didn't last. We were never just a fling, never just a phase. We were the kind of love people write poems about. Not perfect, not polished, but honest, fiercely emotional, and real in a way that shook me to the core. This piece of paper, it's more than a memory, it's a timestamp on the moment I said, Yes, forever. And I meant it. You don't sign something like that just for the photos or the celebration. You sign it because you believe, really believe that what you have is strong enough to weather anything. And maybe that belief was naive. Maybe we weren't ready. But God, we wanted it. I know we did. And even if we failed, I still think there's something beautiful in the trying. That certificate may not be hanging on a wall anymore, but it's carved into me, into the way I love now, into the way I remember you. I posted it not to make you feel guilty, but because I still replay that day in my head. I still hear the promises, the shaky breaths, the quiet smiles that said, "We found it. We found something people spend lifetimes searching for. Maybe we lost it. Maybe we fumbled it. But there was a time, even just for a little while, when we held it. And that means something. That matters. People throw away love like it's replaceable. Like it's just something you try again with someone new. But I don't want to pretend this didn't shake me. I don't want to forget the way your hand fit into mine when we both signed our names. This video, it's not about bitterness. It's not about making a point. It's about giving our love the goodbye it never got. Even if we let go of each other. This paper, this promise, is my way of saying, I never forgot. And maybe to some, it's just a formality, a piece of paper, black ink on ivory cardstock, a date, 2 signatures. But to me, it's the last piece of us I still have that doesn't fade, doesn't forget, doesn't lie. Everything else is blurry now. The laughter, the tears, the fights, even the warmth of your skin against mine in the middle of a silent night. But this certificate is still intact, still whole, still untouched by time, unlike us. I keep it not to prove something to others, but because in a world where even memories bend, this remains still. And that stillness, oddly enough, brings comfort. Because at least once, even if for just one day, we stood side by side and said, "It's you, I choose you, I want you for the rest of my life." I don't post this to guilt you. I don't want to reopen old wounds or drag the past out into the light like a performance. This isn't revenge. This isn't me screaming, "Look what we lost." This is me whispering, "Look what we had." Because what we had was real, raw, flawed, yes, but sacred in its own way. You and I didn't fall apart because we didn't love each other enough. If anything, we loved too much, too intensely, with too many expectations placed on hearts still healing from things we never spoke about. And maybe that was the problem. We thought love alone could fix what was broken inside us. We thought vows could silence the old pain, that new beginnings could bury old wounds. But no matter how tightly we held each other, some parts of us remained out of reach. Sometimes I sit alone and stare at this certificate like it holds the answers I never found in your silence. I remember how we held hands that day, nervous smiles on our faces, dressed in clothes that didn't quite feel like us, but our eyes did. God, your eyes looked right into mine, and for the first time in a long time, I felt seen, like maybe someone in this world finally understood the chaos behind my calm. We weren't perfect people, but we tried to build a perfect kind of peace within each other. And even though we failed, I won't let that erase the meaning of what we started, because some people live a lifetime and never get to love like that, messy, real, all-consuming. And we did. Even if it burned. So yes, this video is for me. For you. For that version of us that no longer exists, but once danced in kitchens and cried in driveways and fell asleep in each other's arms believing we could survive anything. I post this certificate not to pull you back, but to let go, properly. To give us a goodbye with weight, with memory, with softness. Because even now, after everything, I still believe in what we were. I still believe in the moment we became us. And if nothing else, I hope a part of you does too. Because there's something sacred about it, even now after the silence, after the distance, After all the things we never got the chance to say, this isn't about proving we were something. We were something. Something people envied. Something even we didn't fully understand while we were living in it. That certificate may look simple to everyone else, but for me, it's layered with memories. The moment we signed, we weren't just putting ink to paper, we were giving our hearts names, roots, and a reason to fight. I still remember the warmth in your hand when we held the pen together. I remember the way you looked at me like you were trying to memorize my face, like you already knew this moment would live forever. And maybe it will. Maybe that's why I'm here now, still posting this, still holding on to something the world thinks I should have let go of by now. People talk about closure like it's something that comes easily, like it shows up the moment two people walk away. But I've come to learn that closure isn't silence, it's not blocking each other, it's not time. It's truth, and I never got to give you mine. So here it is, folded inside this video, buried beneath every word I never said. I loved you, fully, deeply, the kind of love that changes a person's entire definition of what home feels like.